Okay, so now we're on to the showing of the Blu-rays. Uh, I'm already at the 10 minute or like a little around the 10-minute mark on this video here. So I might have to make this a two-part video if I'm going to show all these and talk about them, but whatever. Nobody's going to watch them anyways. I'll just have to like tag the crap out of everything if I want people to watch these. Anyways, so yeah, let's get started with Blu-rays. First on top of the pile here, we have 13 Assassins. It's a film by Takashi Miike. If you don't know who Takashi Miike is, he's a very well-known Japanese director and producer, I guess sometimes, who he's done like if you have heard of the movie Ichi the Killer or Audition, or have you ever heard he's done the Yakuza series? He does all that, and he's very he's a really cool director. Makes some pretty good films, and this one wasn't any exception. And plus, you know, samurai it's a samurai film about yeah, it's like a period piece, and I'm like, I saw it on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, you know what? It's a period piece by Takashi Miike, and couldn't pass up buying it, so I bought it because I am just that indulgent. Next, we have Darkman, collector's edition. Excuse me. The I love the cover art. I think it says who does the cover art in the back here. Focus. No, there we go. Cover illustrations. Gary Pullen. Gary Pullen. I don't know. But Darkman has it's about this guy who scientist, and you know he gets attacked, and his face gets all burnt and stuff, and his girlfriend thinks he's dead. Blah 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 blah. It has Liam Neeson in it. What's not to like? Directed by Sam Raimi, the same guy who did. Gotta hold the thing still here. Same guy who did the Spider-Man films and the Evil Dead series, or just the Evil Dead. I'm not entirely sure. That I actually have those here too. But Darkman, really good film. Yeah, very watchable. It's kind of a dark comedy because Sam Raimi likes his dark comedies with the I don't know if it was supposed to be intentionally funny, but I laughed throughout the whole thing. And yeah, so there we go. That is Darkman. What do we have next? Oh, we have Dune. Dune. It's a David Lynch film, and this is I guess you could call it an epic, a space epic. I don't remember what year, if it was before or after Star Wars, but it's based on a novel that was considered, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was this movie or some other movie, but it was considered unfilmable. But I think David Lynch did a pretty good job of it. I remember when I first watched it, I had to put the subtitles on. I mean, it's in English, but some of the dialogue is hard to follow, and it's really long. That's the only drawback, I guess. But you know, it all in all, it's a David Lynch film, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Next, one of my favorites. We have oops. We have The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is based off it's based off a graphic novel, pretty excellent graphic novel, and I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me on this. People have seen the movie before, but I think it's an excellent. I think it's a really good film. It never leaves you bored. at all. So, and you get like the Invisible Man and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You get vampires and you know, is it Dorian Gray and also Sean Connery. So, Sean Connery. What's not to like about Sean Connery? That was my terrible Sean Connery impression. So yeah, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Watch the movie if you haven't seen it already, and if you can, read the graphic novel because it's pretty excellent. Next one, we have some animated movies. We have Paranorman and Coraline. Whoops, going out of focus there. Two very excellent animated films. A lot of people think these things are, they're directed by Tim Burton. They're actually not. Although the animation, it's probably just because the animation is similar to what he did with Nightmare Before Christmas, but not a lot of people know that he didn't direct Nightmare Before Christmas either. He only produced it. The story, he did write it though. The story was his. And if I'm wrong, go right ahead and correct me in the comments if you wish, because I would like to know. So yeah, there's a lot more movies here. And my Blu-ray collection is actually bigger than the DVDs. Next, we now have another double feature of the remake of The Crazies. It's a story about a town going, some kind of military bioweapon gets dropped in their water and they drink it, and then everybody goes crazy, and the military has to intervene. Blah blah blah. Military government, U.S. government sucks. Next, we have Pandorum, which I think is a horror film that doesn't get enough recognition. Because it's really excellent. Ben Foster, I think he was one of my more favorite actors. Because he's a pretty good actor. These two movies actually go together pretty well because Pandorum is also about people going crazy, but this time it's about people going crazy in space. Yeah, space crazy. Okay, so what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, next one. Oh, look like I said, The Evil Dead. Sam Raimi's Evil Dead. What can I say about this film that hasn't already been said before? It's a classic. It's funny as hell. Like I always remember even the first time I watched it, I always remember being more laughing about it more than I was ever scared of it. It's just an altogether pretty good film. Yeah. Next, we have The Haunted Anthology. Well, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies in here? We have Insidious, the first Insidious, The Last Exorcism, Last Exorcism, 1814, The Others, and the Blair Witch Project. I don't know. I liked. It was a good deal. I mean, you get. I bought it because I was like, I didn't have any of these movies yet, and there was 5 movies for $7, all in one. And I watched. The only one that I don't really care for on here is the Blair Witch Project. I'm not a big fan of, I guess, found footage horror films. I mean, The Last Exorcism is technically a found footage horror film, but I don't know. There's just something about this one that I definitely like over the Blair Witch Project. So yeah. cool. And, ooh, look what we have here. The Last Exorcism Part 2. I actually really enjoyed this one, too. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. I think I'm one of the few people who actually enjoyed the first one more over this one. Because you see, I've read IMDb reviews and stuff like that, and it's more favorable, I guess, than the other one, than the first one. But it's filmed more like an actual film, not a found footage film like the first one was. And I appreciated the cinematography of this one because some of the shots that were used were actually pretty beautiful. As talking as an aspiring film maker, I guess, film director, producer, blah blah blah. Outpost is next, but not the original Outpost. It's Outpost 3. Rise of the Spetsnaz. I haven't watched this one yet, so I can't really say anything on it. I haven't seen the other two either, the first one or the second one. So I guess we could just leave that one where it is, because I have not watched it. I just bought it as a random $3 Blu-ray pickup at my grocery store. at a grocery store that I was at. I'm like, ooh, zombies and Nazi zombies. And I heard good things about the first film, so whatever. Now I'm just gonna make more room here. Okay, here we have another Nazi monster zombie flick, Frankenstein's Army. This one is filmed like a found footage film, but I didn't mind it that much because I think the movie is just good fun. It has good makeup effects and stuff, and apparently Bloody Disgusting says it's nothing short of amazing. And the reason I picked it up, it really caught my eye because the cover looks awesome. I mean, even like I didn't know anything about it before I bought it, and I'm just like, I need this in my life when I saw it. So yeah, I bought that. That was a random pickup, and I actually ended up enjoying it. It was a pretty small budget movie, but yeah, Nazi monster zombies, Frankenstein's Army. Check it out if you haven't already. I don't know. I can't guarantee you'll like it. I don't know if you have the same kind of movie taste that I do, but overall, I liked it and I recommend it. So if you want to check it out, go right ahead. Next one that I grabbed here is not a horror movie. It's not an action movie, and it's very different from everything else in this collection. It is Where the Wild. Why did I pause there? It is Where the Wild Things Are. It's a movie by Spike Jonze. It's the live-action adaptation of the book, the children's book, and I liked it a lot. The music is awesome. I actually bought the soundtrack to this, and I enjoy Spike Jonze as a director. He makes some pretty good movies. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one, and we're running on time. So, next we have Army of Darkness, who is the same Sam Raimi again, Evil Dead. This is the third one. I haven't been able to find Evil Dead 2 anywhere in stores, which is really weird. And I don't really feel like getting it online at this point, I guess. So, yeah, this is the Screwhead edition, which doesn't really add much to the viewing experience. But I did hear there's a special edition version coming out at some point in this year. So, I think I'm gonna get that because I don't know. It's Screwhead edition.